Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Teching on the Future. I'm your host, Edward Sanchez, and this is our very first episode ever. So if you do like the content, please like and subscribe. If you don't like the content, I guess just give it a like button and maybe help subscribe because it'll definitely help our channel. So in today's episode, what we're going to be doing is looking at the market share of different search engines and how they have compared over time, and what Bing's new merger with ChatGPT can look like in attacking the market dominance of Google. But before we get started, I did want to let you guys know that we also have a Spotify. We also do a podcast where it's called Teching on the Future as well, and we are on episode 12. So if you guys want to check out long form content and discussion, go for it and definitely give it a good play. But without further ado, let's look at the search engine market caps over time for Google versus the rest of them, right? I mean, that's essentially what it is. Over the past 10 years, looking back, and this is using data from StatCounter, even since 2009 and 10, so over now more than a decade of dominance, Google has had around 93%, 92% market share of the entire search engine world. And we've seen this with Chrome and whatever, and we've definitely had a long share of Google dominance, with the only other competitor kind of being Bing, a little bit of Yahoo, and then everyone else is kind of not relevant. Bing kind of comes across mostly because they push out their product with all of their Microsoft computers when they sell them. So it is by default the search browser for the Edge before everyone downloads Chrome. But what I'm trying to get here is that this actually could have a huge impact on Google, as they've had a market share that has been consistent over 10 years and almost consistently flat. So let's look at Google's revenue breakdown for what this could look like. Right now, currently, Google makes more than, Alphabet, makes a ton. It's 57% of all of their revenue from search. So any kind of attack on that market dominance could have huge implications on its market cap and revenue. And we actually see that going forward with when Microsoft recently announced their merger with ChatGPT and in their conference, and they showed a live demo of what Bing could do with their chat feature. Google actually tried to respond with Bard, and it went horribly wrong. They didn't even have a phone to display it. And in losing that kind of race in the AI or search space for Google, which is their bread and butter, actually dipped. So here's actually their market cap growing over time. But if we look at, I don't think you guys remember a couple of days ago, just with their conversation about Google Bing implementing ChatGPT into their search platform and creating a natural language search, here we have a dramatic drop in market share. I think it was close to $100 billion like that. So it is definitely a thing to look at. If Google doesn't respond quickly to the threat that is occurring in the search engine space, then we're going to go into quite a wild ride of maybe Bing actually picking up some market share and seeing more of Google's market cap decline. And this isn't financial advice, but I think that if Google doesn't step it up with Bard and continue to push forward with its search engine, then there could be a huge shift in this dominance. And even dropping down from 90% to like 85% and giving Microsoft a 5% boost could definitely push their market cap a lot less and maybe consider shorting the stock a bit. Buy puts. No, I'm joking. But so also let's kind of look at what the search results look like right now before it gets fully implemented into the service of the different of the two platforms. So this is Google's. If you search, when I looked up Bing and their chat function, it kind of gave you what to search for, and then a response type of what they have with their GPT integration. Here we have a possible 3-course menu, and this is a very natural, right? So you're chatting along with the specific chatbot. It gives you responses, and then you have, hey, I have a sweet potato ready. Can you make the main course using that? And it says sure, and it gives you and continues to give you more search results. So it is very natural language, very communicative, almost like ChatGPT is, but a little bit more personable, I would say. So currently, this is the future of their search and what they're going to be rolling out fully in the coming months. Google's current form factor of how they actually show the results, I think we're very familiar with this, as they've been the main driver of all of our searches, has been just very much hyperlinks, right? So it has been just a collection of scraped hyperlinks from the web using their crawler data, and also using now these filtered tags. So you can just, instead of actually going into a URL, and this has been there for a while now, you can just click down these drop downs and it gives you a lot easier responses, and you can just read them, which kind of scans the page, finds what they're kind of looking for, and reads it off to you. So you don't even have to go into the pages anymore. There's been a lot of lawsuits about this because Google's taking a lot of the opportunity from these small businesses to actually make a revenue if you can just get the answer quickly and not have to click their website. So this is one of the how Google has displayed their data for quite some time. This is how Bing has displayed their data for quite some time as well. So now we are. So this is how Bing shows their results with a lot more display, a lot more information. You have recipes, you have also more menu items on the side from Mead Munch, and it's going to get a lot more complex now with the new chat button at the top. And if you currently ask ChatGPT what the exact same question, it gives you, so like a 3-course meal, no nut, no seafood, it's going to give you kind of a very distinct answer, and it can continue to go on and on and on. So ChatGPT, if you guys haven't used it, it's a sensational piece of, what would you call it? It's not well, basically it's an AI tool that allows you to communicate with it, as it scraped a ton of data from the web and other resources that allow it to communicate in real time in a lot of interesting responses. If you haven't used this, definitely use it at least once, so you're able to see what the future of AI looks like in terms of kind of search results. But let's look back at what specifically this is going to mean for the industry, right? They've started an AI race. So what Google and Microsoft are doing currently is it was very basic search results, right? Very almost as the 1990s, right? There wasn't really much of a difference in how you received your search results from when 10 years ago as to now. The one just had was more market dominant than the other. It was a whole bunch. It was a list of hyperlinks, and it was kind of stuck in the Web 1, right? Web 2 is more of the interacting with things, so creating content with Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, so people interacting with the web. And Web 3 is a big debate of a decentralized platform or a whole bunch of other things. We actually cover some of the Web 3 concepts in our podcast with Teching on the Future. But yeah, so this is actually pushing forward in an AI race to see who can create the best AI platform for their specific search engines. The person who wins this is going to take at least more of the market cap that already exists. I mean, really, Google has everything to lose, and Microsoft just has everything to win with this. Because at the end of the day, it's Google who has to hold on to their market cap of 32, right? Of 92.9%. If they don't, their stock will continue to plummet, because that is their main revenue source, as we had talked about earlier, right? And if that continues to happen, then there can be dire consequences, which will, in my opinion, push them to innovate even further, buy out smaller startups, do a lot more, and create, again, a more market dominant search engine, but this time probably permanently losing, in my opinion, market cap share to Microsoft's Bing. But who knows? We don't know what the future really holds. Maybe there's a third player that comes out of nowhere that allows us to, chat with the internet in a more unique way, the way ChatGPT did. Maybe ChatGPT launches their own search engine, but I mean, they can't really, because Microsoft actually, I don't know if I talked about this earlier, but they invested another $10 billion into ChatGPT, which now allows them to use all of the software into Bing. And I think they own a 70% stake until they recoup their earnings, their investment, and then they're off to 48% stake, along with OpenAI owning a 48, and then 2% going to the nonprofit. Something around that, but don't quote me because I might have fidgeted the numbers a bit. Well, anyway, guys, this was the first episode of many. Hopefully we give you cool insights into the tech world, not just what's going on currently, not just the big topics of today, but also how it affects everything, right? How we want to give you guys a broader understanding of what a specific tech news could look like in affecting market cap, in affecting revenue, and affecting everything else, right? We want to give you guys a little bit of that insight. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.